What up, y'all? This may be the last video on this project, I hope. Well, I don't like it not being, or like it being the last video, but I think I'm gonna be glad when this project's done. So I got the hill cut down to where I want, I think, for right now. I started on the cut up top to go further back that way to give him some more length. You know, he is a little short on length. He's got plenty of girth or width, but he's short on length. So I'm going to put my tilt bucket back on and strip that topsoil. I'm actually going to load it up and dump it down here, and then I'll pack that in, actually running up down the hill with a dump truck. And I may load that out later, but what I'm gonna try to do is off that hill is cut him in a road to back his debris truck and stuff up down through there. That way he's got something solid to sit on. So let's get this thing up to the excavator. I'm not tracking it down here when I can just scoop it up with this thing. All right, let's get this bucket scooped up here. This machine warmed up a little bit. What you think, Beth? Huh. All right, now we gotta get the dump truck going. Air build up on it. Sometimes it builds really fast, sometimes it builds slow. I still gotta adjust my dump lever. I gotta figure out what's wrong with this thing, why it won't dump, or go back down. Now time for the excavator. Well, y'all, look who decided to show up. Y'all look how much. I bet he didn't bring me no fuel. Up here drinking a Java juice. Y'all, I conned Rook into getting me a full tank of fuel. Ain't no telling what that's gonna cost me. straight vertical wall that we can't get past or get up. I think stripped off. Y'all can see the process. Have I ever told y'all how much I love this grading bucket? If you don't have one, you need to get one. Alright, there he goes. That truck is seems to be smoking a little bit. Kind of worries me. Shouldn't be that cold. Probably wouldn't hurt to run some oh shoot, I hope he don't flip it. Wish he would have backed off in there a little further. I probably need to run some injector cleaner through it. Probably wouldn't hurt. I tell you what, man, that is just one tough machine. To dump sideways like that, down a hill, with Rook operating it, I mean, that's a testimony to Volvo. Well, the old stuff. I don't know about the new stuff. Alright, so we worked a little while last night. I got one load of good dirt. Finally got my hill ready to cut into. Then I come down here, me and Rook talked about kind of what he wanted. And he wants kind of a little peninsula going out down through there. Pretty much what I said earlier about building a road down through there. But he wants it built up a good bit. That way he can kind of sit up higher than where the fire is going to be and all that. And we can grade this out later. Kind of leave that there to hold the good dirt. And then several loads on this road to raise the road up so it'll soften this transition right here. So that's what I'm going to work on this evening. Maybe I can get several loads. And I'm probably not going to have enough dirt. So we'll see how far it gets us. I'm going to set you up on the time lapse because it ain't going to be nothing but load, take it right down there and dump it. excavator react when I'm loading the side here. Seems like it's a little bit heavier than the other bucket, but that might be the weight of the bucket. The thing is, it kind of, dirt kind of sticks in there. Got the high spot up there I need to try to take down while I'm here. And there comes Rookie. Got several loads hauled. I can't remember how many. It's either 7 or 8 now. Actually cut through this hill pretty quick. I can't believe he's showing up 2 days in a row. That don't mean he's gonna help though. But he's here. Starting from the back of the truck, I think I can put a few more scoops of dirt in there too. Let me see what he wants. Alright, so I got a full construction crew out here now. Isaac's in the dump truck. It's his first time ever in there, so maybe he won't flip it down the hill. Rookie's in my skid steer, Ryan's in his. Ryan don't know how to run those skid steers. Built that up there a lot. That land plane does really good about knocking these loads out. That's good. Give us some gas. Throttle. What? Be close. Are you living? Is it working? Oh, okay. Ryan's on TikTok live. Y'all look up Worx Tree and Stump on TikTok. He's all the time going live. Sometimes I make a special guest appearance and ruin their day, but all right, we're gonna see how many we can get more before dark. It'll be dark in about 20 minutes. Well guys, I'm back over here several days later. It rained past 2 or 3 days. We got a pretty good little shower one day, and I wanted to come over here. It's gonna be about too wet to work because this stuff right here is just so damn sticky. It really needs another day or two to dry out, but I'm gonna jump in the excavator and come down here and fix their mess they got going on down here with their little peninsula. I'm gonna take that grading bucket and shape it up real good and make sure that it's we're not just gonna be wasting a bunch of dirt. I'll shape it up and at least knock them piles out and let them be drying out, and just kind of see how it goes. But like this stuff, it is just nothing but sticky clay. But the good thing is there's not a pond standing up here, so that's good. Got like one little bitty puddle right there that's holding, so should be good to go for the most part. Like this little place right here, they got going astray. piles, I figure it's gonna be a lot wetter than it was. I may try to load out some dirt, I don't know. Really just don't want to make a mess of my shop pad up there. I don't have to. hope they don't go off of it. There and maybe 3 more over here, and that should be fine. All right, guys, it's the next day. It finally dried out enough to work today. Still a little sticky, but had to put some fuel in that thing, and I already got me about 7 or 8 loads out here put where I want them. I'm letting that thing warm up, and I'm gonna jump in it. I think I'm gonna put the bucket back on because I'm just not a big fan of that land plane. I think it's got its purpose, but I'm gonna put the bucket on, that way I can shape it a little bit better, and then we'll see how far this goes. I'm probably gonna need a couple more on the road once I get these knocked out, maybe 1 or 2 more on this edge, but I think this right here is gonna be good for his unload area. So I'm gonna set y'all up on time lapse and get these piles knocked out before it gets dark. got those worked in. That helped out a lot. I still probably need about 1 or 2 more right there, and then some off this edge. That's what I'm gonna try to do real quick. Of course, my camera shut off. I've got more daylight left than I realized I was gonna have, so I'm gonna try to load out about 2 more loads. That's looking good. Still a pretty good little steep little transition. It don't look like it on camera, but yeah, I really just need to keep building that up right there. All right, Beth, let's load out some more dirt. Well, guys and gals, we are getting close to wrapping this thing up as far as the base layer, whatever you want to call it. Rook come up here earlier today and he called me and said he likes it the way it's turning out, and he wants a couple more loads right there, and I think maybe 1 or 2 more right here, just to give him enough room to kind of swing up in here and soften that transition right there. But we're getting there, and it's supposed to rain tonight, so I've really got to get this thing done today. But I'm thinking maybe 4 or 5 more loads, and it should be good to go. So let's knock this thing out real quick. Well, Rookie is here making a ass out of what I've already had laid out, but we are getting bad close. He's gonna run over the whole thing with that land plane. It really needs to dry out a little bit, but I threw him some loose dirt out there to fix all those ruts. We got Junior over here. He knows speak English. I'm kidding, he can speak a little bit. He can say hey. Should be done with this, so I'm gonna jump in my skid steer and fix his mess over here. I've got about 5 loads out here, so yep, we are about to get her knocked out. Well, guys, that's gonna be a wrap on this one. I think it turned out quite nice, just for a couple skid steers and an excavator, and like I said, I never even shot transit on it. Got this hill transitioned a little bit, that way we can at least still make it out of there if we had to. But as of right now, he's gonna put up like a 40 by 80 pole barn just to get his stuff up under. We can always go further that way if we need more dirt later on. It don't look that big until you compare the truck out here and all this stuff sitting here. I think he's got plenty of room. He's got more room right here than he does at my place as far as getting in and out. I'm just not sure how much he'll have once he puts his building there, but like I said, we've got a lot more dirt right there, and always go that way with it. I think down here is going to work out pretty nice. The only thing I'm kind of worried is the transition on this hill. I'm just worried about his guys not really paying attention if they're pulled down in there to come up further the hill before they start to make that turn. I really needed about 3 or 4 more loads right there, but this is gonna have to do for right now because it's supposed to rain tonight, and that's probably going to be it for really doing anything out here, probably until summertime. I don't know. Usually when it starts raining in November, you can hang it up as far as doing any work in Mississippi, because this stuff ain't nothing but clay, and once it's wet, you can forget it. Like, it rained 4 days ago and it's still pretty sticky, almost too wet to mess with. But I need to pull this thing up to the house and do some work on it. It's got a couple holes in the bed that I noticed whenever I was trying to clean it out. I want to get those fixed before I sure enough tear a hole in it. Not sure if I can see the holes. I'm not sure where they're at, but I know there's a couple. I think they're well, this thing's got a lot of dirt in it. I need to clean it out. Of course, now when I'm looking for them, I don't see them. But yeah, I'm not sure how thick this is, but that's gonna be pretty thick. But I'll probably do a video on working on this thing. I need to fix the dump on it so it I don't have to sit there and hold the lever down, and it dump or go down easier, faster anyway. Really need to work on the brakes. The brakes are doing okay. I think all I really got is the front brakes, but the old truck is tough. She's hauled a lot of dirt out here for us, saved us a lot of money that way. So I'm gonna say she's well paid for herself. Well, yeah. Anyway, all right, y'all let me know what you think. I don't know what the next project to be. I'm hoping that, well, I'm not even gonna say, I always jinx myself. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all keep your eyes open. I'll see you later.